Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Safety Systems. Want to make Dad happy in the new year, or Mom for that matter? Call VFL JJ Surlis and ask him about all the many different types of home theater rooms that Safety Systems can create. And trust me, they have options that will not break your budget. Turn your living room into a media center. Safety Systems. All right, rapid fire questions here. Whoever, I meant to put the buzzers out, but I didn't, so I'm just going to throw these out. Be ready. Will Overstreet, I'm going to start with you. I've been hearing a lot about this on Twitter. If Alabama played all 32 NFL teams, 32 games,
okay,
one each, how many wins do they have?
0. They get beat by 3 touchdowns at a minimum by the worst team in the league.
Why?
Faster, more experience, know the tricks of the trade. You could put a freshman quarterback out there that throwing the ball, his window goes from he's got 2 or 3 feet to throw it. He's had 6 inches to hit that target. He runs around the corner the first time. The linebacker from the NFL lays him out, and that's the last time they'll run the ball with him for a little while.
Yeah, I put that on Twitter, and people didn't agree with me last night. I don't think they win against the Browns or anybody else up there. All right. Was Butch Jones, let's see, who do I want to give this? Oh, Jimmy. What do you think Butch Jones was thinking last night as he watched Alabama throttle Florida in Atlanta? Think he wanted to be there? Or you think he was saying, God, we'd have been killed? What do you think he was thinking as he watched that game?
I think he was thinking, well, we'd have been 0-1 this week. Alabama was, that's just a great football team, and they're head and shoulders above anybody in the SEC. I think that was apparent by the fact that they're undefeated. Nobody else in the league has fewer than 4 losses, and I think they're better than anybody else in the country. Doesn't mean they're going to win the national championship, but that's where you kind of, there were people talking about, well, you dodged a bullet by not having to play that. I still would rather get to the SEC championship game, but you had the perfect scenario if you just beat Vanderbilt and you go to the Sugar Bowl. So if you could work that out. But I think that might have been part of him saying, well, I don't have to put up with that again.
Okay, got to speed this one up. What was Bob Shoop thinking as he watched his old Penn State team, with the defense coached by his old co-defensive coordinator, win the Big Ten championship last night?
Well, I think he's proud of his guys. I mean, he coached a lot of those guys. I think you're seeing what Bob Shoop's defense look like. You might see a preview of how they might play at Tennessee next year. I think he probably has more confirmation that he needs to go back to doing it his way instead of trying to be a continuum. He might have even wondered what Christian Hackenberg was thinking for not coming back a year. Maybe they'd be playing for a national title.
You don't think there's any regrets?
No, coaches, you can't look back. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but in my experiences, coaches don't look back.
Daniel Hood, should the playoff be 4 conference champions, or should Ohio State get in?
I think you got to win your conference, and I think it just goes down to the best teams week in, week out in your conference should be the team that also gets rewarded for doing that in the postseason.
Guys, should Penn State get in this thing, or no?
No.
Yeah, not the way the rules are written. I wish they changed the rules so conference champions would go, but the way it's written, if I'm a jury, they're not in my top 4 rankings.
I think Penn State needs to be in it. I think Washington, you have to make Washington be in it too, so that presents an issue because I think Washington's not that good a team that's about to be in this playoffs.
If you're taking somebody out due to what I think is your season, then I take Ohio State out because they didn't beat Penn State, didn't win their division, didn't win their conference. If you're taking somebody out because I think they're the worst team, I think that's Washington.
Yeah.
But you can't say enough about James Franklin. Guy can coach. And let me tell you something else. Good AD, in terms of picking coaches, David Williams, Vanderbilt, found James Franklin out of nowhere. He was on no one's radar in the SEC. Derek Mason not looking too bad right now. His baseball coach, Tim Corbin's pretty good. And when he lost Kevin Stallings, he goes out and grabs Bryce Drew for basketball. David Williams is not a bad AD for what was an intramural program. The last one I'm going to handle because we don't have time. Should Tennessee fans want Jim McElwain to go to Oregon? No. He's been to Atlanta twice, but here's the thing. He's done it with defense. He was supposed to be an offensive guru. I've not seen any guruism coming out of Gainesville so far. In my view, you're now going to lose some of Muschamp's defense next year. So he better have something on offense. I've not seen any hint of that. Plus, Butch Jones is 1-1 against him. I wouldn't be sitting there saying, oh, I hope he goes to Oregon. I would be scared that Florida would get somebody better. So I would say cool the Jets on hoping that McElwain leaves. When we come back, where will the Vols go bowling? Who will they be playing? And we'll give you a curveball, too. Come on, back on the Sports Source.